not dead, just busy. So yeah, it's been a while. But I thought I'd come back to you today with some terrain for Frostgrave. Oh, it's always Frostgrave, of course it is. So this is one set from foreground, and the range as a whole is called the Ruins of Daldorr, and it's basically a lot of MDF, laser cut MDF ruins, and everything fits together. So that joins the same there, and on this side as well, and basically everything fits to everything else. So you can configure this however you want, and it'll sort of look, it'll look pretty good. As well as that, you get a sort of a handful of these flagstones as well that you can sort of park on the tabletop and just generally make the whole thing look quite knackered and so on. I think it looks pretty good. And it's pretty cool. That's all I've done with this is glued it together, a bit chunkily in places, but it's alright, it does the job. Looks quite nice. But you have of course got these laser cut burns. So it's alright there, it looks not too bad. It's dropping things. It's slightly more evident on this piece. So the intention here for this piece is to have a bit more second floor. So some of the ruins go up to a second floor, and with these you get to a bit more upper floor to play with. But here you do have a lot of sort of laser cut corners here, so a good half of each face of the pillar is basically dark brown, and that sort of got me wondering, well, should I paint it? And this is the result. So I've sort of painted in the wood bits, so the stone bits and the light coloured stone as well, and the edges of the platform there, and the edge of the flags at the bottom, and it does make quite a difference. So that, let's say, that looks okay. This I think looks a lot better. I'm quite pleased with that, and it's not a lot of effort. And also for me personally at the moment, because I'm sort of coming in from work very often extremely knackered, this is a reasonably low concentration job I can do when I haven't got the energy to paint figures. So there's quite a big impact there. What I wasn't quite prepared for was actually another set, and here I've painted the walls in as well. It's a slightly larger set, and again it is all modular, it all goes together, but that really did make a difference. I sort of painted this corner piece first, and I was like really pleased with it. I just thought, this is a great change here, and well worth doing. So that's my start of my Daldorr terrain. So this is one set, that's a third. I've got another 5 of these, so there's some larger ones as well. And I don't intend to do a video for everyone, because nice as this stuff is, it is a little samey, let's be quite honest. So it's not worth, oh, I've done another few of these and so on. If I do a halfway point and do a finished, that'll probably cover it. So having said, we get the flagstones with the others. Yeah, I've also been painting around the edges of those as well. So quite a lot of flagstones painted, but yeah, there's quite a lot to go as well. But there we go, that's a quick one. Just a note on the sort of the Frostgrave setting and everything. I mean, it is a icy snow city. A lot of people cover up the burnt MDF with snow effects. I think I've mentioned before on the basing of the Frostgrave figures that I'm not going to do that. I haven't got the money or the space, and particularly the time, to do a dedicated snow table. So this is going to have to be, sort of generic scenery. So I'm going to leave the frosty iciness off it, so that it's useful for other sets of the fantasy settings in future. Well, that's it for now. So we've got stage 0 here, the stuff assembled. Stage 1, it painted. There may be a stage 2 where I sort of go to it, another level of detail, and I think the next stage I'd like to do would be to make everything mossy. Just put a green tint on it all, because I think that would look rather nice. But really, stage 1, get this up to this stage, and all the others. So there's another 5 of these sets, some of them larger, and half of this set. So at the moment I've got 8 sets. I've done 1.5. I have another 6.5 to do. and I'll probably get back to you then. Well, thanks very much for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about MDF terrain. Foreground stuff, it's the first time I've done foreground stuff, and I've rather enjoyed it. Putting it together is quite fun. And just the little bits of detail you get here and there, and some of the other kits are quite clever. I mean, there's not a lot to this, you know, it's just a sandwich of MDF and a bit more MDF and some little bits of detail here and there. But some of them are a bit more involved, as like staircases and so on, just to bring that in. So there's an example of a second floor. There's an example of a second floor you can run around on. And as I say, these are bits of second floor that you really can run around on. I am banging on a bit now. Well, thanks very much for watching. Hope your projects are going well, and I'll speak to you soon. Ta-ra.